Hello and welcome to this continuation of our TIRTOS LED toggle example. So here we are actually going to do another variation of it, and in this case we are actually going back to the original code, and what we are really trying to do is trying to create, as you can see, this is the code where we actually did create from scratch, uh, define a task which is a heartbeat function, and uh, and we made it idle and so on. Now what we are trying to do is we are simply trying to make this task, and now we're not actually doing a heartbeat, but pretty much you have the timer, but you have a function called ledToggle, right? So that's your function, and then over here what we have also decided to do is when we have also using a timer to part A for a particular period. When the time's up, it actually kind of has an interrupt timer ISR, and that one will post a semaphore, right? And so this semaphore over here, which is with a handle LED sim, is going to be triggering. As you can see, there is this function a while loop, but when it hits here, it's going to wait for that semaphore forever. Until that semaphore is posted, it's just not going to be able to execute. So it's going to periodically keep checking this, and if it is not posted, this function will not carry ahead. So once that is posted, when the time's up, then this is actually executed. So that's the concept. So over here, what we do is, as you can see, we still have our hardware interrupt. We have an instance for our timer, that's the handler, that's the function, that's the priority, interrupt number, and that's your priority is -1, which is higher than normal tasks. So then we go to the tasks, and now we are creating a task instance, which has a handle, which is ledToggle task, but the function that is performed is ledToggle with the priority 1. So that's there. And then we also have to define a semaphore, which is ledSim is our semaphore handle, and we say basically it is a binary semaphore, so it's either going to be true or false. That's what is clicked here, and pretty much those are the stuff that is there. So I'm going to go to the logging function, and now I'm going to also do the task, software interrupt, hardware interrupt, and semaphores are all being monitored by your execution analysis. So let's compile this now, and I'm going to pause the video for certain until the compilation is over, and then we will see the process of burning and debugging. So the compilation is done, and let's burn it, and it's detecting our board burning process is done. And again, I'm going to go to execution analysis. For some reason, it doesn't really open it up when I do execution analysis. In that case, I'm just going to hit like load analysis, and if it pulls up, there you go, and then just basically unclick on this, and then we are only interested in execution and do that. So that's your execution graph, and obviously we have not executed anything, so let's execute this, and now it's actually grabbing data, and let's pause, and there you go. So it's now populating, but it looks like it's lost some data, and technically I think it's losing data because I have other HDMIs and other stuff that is connected to my system now. So that seems to be also some common problem when you do that. So let's go to the execution graph. Yep. And so here again, if you can click right here, I think you should be it's actually monitoring interrupts. And we are likely looking at, okay, there you go. So that's the start and the stop, and in your case you probably could also see the semaphore posted. In mine it's probably part of that where you're not able to see it. Yeah, so that's the hardware interrupt, and now you can also see that the hardware interrupt timing is very small, uh, because what actually happens with an interrupt is it's just simply posting. In the previous cases you would see that's larger because it was actually calling the interrupt subroutine and so on, but now it's just the interrupt subroutine is just posting the semaphore. So in certain cases you should also probably see it, and you should have a semaphore that is posted. uh, let me see if I can pull out. So these are all like, it's not able to completely capture everything, so let me restart it maybe. And the debugger in this case is not, I mean, the data logging is not great in this particular T1C. So if the same thing was to be performed in your the wireless launch pads, you would probably get a much better uh, response for these debuggings. Okay. Yeah, so for some reason, I'm not able to also click that particular. Let's go to the execution. Okay. And yeah, it says still the stuff. It's still not showing me, when the semaphore is being posted, but in your case probably you could see it, and so this is a little bit of an issue with this particular setup, my computer setup. Okay, thank you.